Hi, I'm Ben. I'm here to learn English.
And I'm Emma. I'm here to help.
Let's learn together.
Let's learn together. Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Emma and Ben. We're so happy you're here with us again.
Hi guys. Today we're tackling another really important IELTS topic, one that's not just common in the test, but also super relevant to real life, the environment and conservation.
Exactly. This topic shows up in all three parts of the IELTS speaking test, and examiners love to hear your opinions on it, especially if you can use a few natural expressions and specific examples.
Yeah, it's one of those topics where you can really show off your vocabulary. Words like sustainability, pollution, renewable energy, and environmentally friendly.
And don't worry if those sound a bit advanced. We'll show you how to use them naturally, not in a memorized way.
Let's start with some simple warm-up questions, just like IELTS Part 1.
Okay, the examiner might ask something like, do you care about protecting the environment?
I'd answer, yes, definitely. I think everyone should care about the environment because it affects all of us. I try to do small things in my daily life, like recycling, reducing waste, and using reusable bags instead of plastic ones.
That's perfect. Short, personal, and full of good phrases. You used reducing waste and reusable bags, both great collocations.
Yeah, and you don't need to sound like a scientist. Just describe real habits that show awareness.
Exactly. Here's another one. Do you think it's easy to live an environmentally friendly lifestyle?
I'd probably say not really. It's getting easier, but sometimes it still costs more to buy eco-friendly products or organic food. I think many people want to help the planet, but convenience often wins.
Oh, I like that. Convenience often wins. That's such a natural phrase. And it's true. Sometimes people care, but it's hard to change habits.
Totally. You can also say something like, it takes effort to be eco-conscious, which means aware and responsible about the environment.
Great word. Eco-conscious. Okay, let's imagine you get a Part 2 cue card. It could be something like, describe a place you've been to that was affected by pollution or environmental problems.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'll try that. A few years ago, I visited a beach that had a serious plastic pollution problem. The scenery was beautiful, but there was rubbish everywhere. Bottles, wrappers, and even fishing nets washed up on the sand. It was really sad to see how human activity can ruin such a lovely natural place. After that trip, I started paying more attention to my own plastic use. I began carrying a metal water bottle and avoiding single-use items whenever possible. That experience really made me realize how big the problem is and how important it is to protect the environment.
That's such a great answer, Ben. It sounds natural and emotional, not rehearsed. You gave a story, feelings, and even a change in behavior. That's exactly what examiners love.
Thanks. And it includes nice phrases like plastic pollution, single-use items, and protect the environment.
You also used made me realize, which shows reflection. Perfect for higher band scores.
Right. And I think personal stories always make your answer memorable.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go a bit deeper, like in IELTS Part 3. The examiner might ask something like, what are the main environmental problems in your country?
I'd say, well, I think air pollution is one of the biggest issues, especially in large cities. Traffic and factories produce a lot of emissions, which affects people's health. Deforestation is also a serious problem in some areas, mainly because of construction and agriculture.
Nice. You covered two issues and explained the causes. That's exactly how to handle this kind of question. Give examples, not just names of problems.
Yeah, don't just say pollution. Say what kind of pollution and why it happens.
Totally. Another common question is, what can individuals do to protect the environment?
Oh, easy one. I'd say individuals can do a lot, even small things. For example, we can recycle, save water, use public transport instead of driving, and avoid wasting electricity. If everyone makes a small effort, it adds up to a big change.
I love that line. If everyone makes a small effort, it adds up to a big change. That's such a good, positive way to end your answer.
Yeah, it sounds confident and hopeful, which examiners appreciate.
Another question could be, do you think governments are doing enough to protect the environment?
That's a classic IELTS question. I'd answer, I think some governments are making progress, but in many countries, there's still a long way to go. They need to invest more in renewable energy, like solar and wind power, and create stricter laws to control pollution. Raising public awareness is also really important.
Brilliant. Renewable energy, invest in, and raise awareness. Those are all Band 8, Band 9 collocations.
And again, it's not about using big words. It's about using the right words naturally.
Exactly. Here's another one I love. Do you think schools should teach children about the environment?
Definitely. I'd say yes, because children are the future, and if they learn to respect nature early on, they'll grow up to be responsible adults. Schools can teach recycling, planting trees, or even small projects like keeping the school clean.
That's so true. And the structure is great. Opinion, reason, then example. That's the magic formula for IELTS answers.
Right. Opinion, reason, example. Works every time.
Let's talk about some useful words and expressions students can use in this topic.
Good idea. I'll start. Go green. It means to adopt an environmentally friendly lifestyle.
Carbon footprint, that's the total amount of carbon dioxide you produce. You can say, I'm trying to reduce my carbon footprint by cycling to work.
Renewable resources like wind, solar, or hydropower.
Sustainable lifestyle, that's when you live in a way that doesn't harm the planet for future generations.
And conservation, protecting nature and wildlife.
Perfect. You can say, conservation is essential to preserve endangered species.
Oh, that's another good phrase. Endangered species. Like animals that are at risk of disappearing.
Exactly. And one of my favorite idioms for this topic is, every little bit helps. It's a great way to end an answer about personal responsibility.
Love that one. You could say, I know I can't solve climate change alone, but every little bit helps.
That's a natural and meaningful way to show awareness.
Speaking of climate change, that's another huge area in IELTS. The question might be, what can we do to reduce the effects of climate change?
We can reduce our carbon emissions by using public transport, switching to renewable energy, and consuming less. People can also plant trees, which absorb carbon dioxide and help clean the air.
Nicely put. And again, those verbs, reduce, switch to, absorb, make your English sound clear and academic without sounding robotic.
Totally agree. Now, let's talk quickly about common mistakes students make in this topic.
Number 1, saying save the environment too much. It's fine once, but don't repeat it in every answer. Mix it up with phrases like protect nature or reduce environmental damage.
Number 2, being too general. Don't just say pollution is bad. Say what kind, where, and why it's a problem.
And number 3, giving emotional answers without structure. Saying people don't care and it's terrible doesn't show your English ability. Explain your ideas logically.
Exactly. And pronunciation matters too. Words like environment, pollution, and climate need to be clear. Don't rush them.
Yeah, and practicing environmentally friendly slowly. That one's a tongue twister for many students.
True. Okay, let's do a short role play before we wrap up. I'll be the examiner.
All right, let's go.
Do you think large companies should be responsible for reducing pollution?
Absolutely. I think large companies have a huge impact on the environment, so they should take responsibility. They can switch to cleaner production methods, use eco-friendly materials, and reduce packaging waste. Some companies are already doing this, but others need stricter regulations to push them to act.
That's excellent. You used cleaner production methods, eco-friendly materials, and stricter regulations. That's exactly the kind of vocabulary examiners love to hear.
Thanks.
All right, one last one. What do you think the future of our planet will look like?
That's a deep one. I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic. If people keep learning about environmental issues and technology continues to improve, I think we can find solutions to most problems. But if we keep ignoring the warning signs, the consequences could be serious. So it really depends on how much action we take now.
Wow, that's such a thoughtful answer. You sound realistic but hopeful. Perfect for IELTS Part 3.
Thanks. I think showing a balanced attitude always helps in the test.
Couldn't agree more. So before we finish, let's recap a few useful phrases from today.
Go green, reduce your carbon footprint, renewable energy, endangered species, and every little bit helps.
And don't forget, always give examples and reasons. That's the secret to sounding fluent and confident.
Exactly. You're not just listing vocabulary, you're telling a story, sharing your view, and connecting it to real life.
Well, that's it for today's episode.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope this helped you feel more confident about talking about the environment in IELTS and in real life.
Remember, use English, stay curious, and maybe plan a treat today.
I like that. See you on the next episode. We'll be talking about education and learning, another classic IELTS topic.
See you then.